to send a big shout out to all of our brothers and sisters out there. We want to give a big shout out to all of those that have been coming out, participate in the park. However, we still need brothers and sisters to become what we aiming to do is bring some awareness. We need brothers and sisters to become proactive. We need them to become active in these things. So that means that when you start dealing with community, ain't no big eyes, ain't no little U's, ain't none of that. It's everybody just coming together to get something done. And you got to figure out what your role is and what part you gonna play in it. And then from there, you just put your hand to the plow. You know, so we're steadily getting our brothers coming on board, our brothers and sisters coming on board, saying, what can I do? What can I do? Well, what do you have a desire to do? I think that people are to do the thing that's in their heart. So that's what we're gonna look at on today. We're gonna look at a piece of instruction that is coming out of the Pauline epistles. Very noble content. Colossians chapter 3, verse 3 says, whatsoever that you do it with your whole heart, as if you were doing it for the Most High and not unto men, because it's God that's ultimately going to be responsible for the reward that comes from whatever work that you are doing. And so whatever it is, it's time out to just be doing things just to be seen, or doing things just because people ask you, or doing things just because you want to become a part of something. Whatever it is that you do, you have to do it with your whole heart, as if you was doing it to God. And so we're not looking for no pats on the back. We're not looking for no favor of men. We're not looking for no respect of people. When you get ready to do something, you make sure that you check your motive. You check your motive and the intent of your heart as to the reasons why you are doing what it is that you're doing. Because God already knows what's in our heart. And He already know about the people that will come along and they will do something just because a ball is always rolling. That's why we started the skating thing off with the scripture, despise not small beginnings. Because oftentimes when you have to start from ground zero, or you have to start from scratch, or start from nothing, it ain't nothing there. And you don't know what the outcome gonna be. You don't know whether it's gonna be something that's gonna be successful or massive, or you don't know whether something's gonna be. But the point is that you gotta start somewhere. So we're not to despise or be discouraged by small beginnings when we in the beginning of a thing. So I'm gonna let this phone quit ringing. Tell him I'll call him back. Call you back. So sometimes people don't want to come on board until they see something already rolling, or till, so I'm telling brothers and sisters that you have to check the intent of your heart, and you have to check your motive, because whatever it is that you put your hand to, you want your motive and the intent of your heart to be good, so that whatever it is that you're doing can now be enhanced or even blessed even more. So if your motive for doing something is not right, and the intent of your heart and your reasons for doing it is not right, it's better off not to do it, because you'll start some work that you'll find yourself, you won't be a part of it for long. Because if the first time you don't get what you're thinking about, then you'll go in another direction. So when we start talking about dealing with these community events, we're dealing with the mobilization of our people when it comes to self-awareness. Everybody can see the problems that we face in the community. Everybody can see the condition that our people are in. Everybody can see that, and everybody can talk about that. But to mobilize people to get to work on redirecting the mindset of people or changing the outcome of particular things, like take all this killing, for instance. We know where that killing has come from. That killing is coming from children that's from 12 through 17 years old now. We know where it's coming from. We know that it's coming from the drill music. We know it's coming because you got these rich, wealthy white people that own, Jewish people that own these record labels and all that. We know that they paying our young men who don't have the sense enough, that want fame, they want fortune, they want status in this world, and now they're paying them to go and kill each other because that's the type of rap. It's like now, if you ain't rapping about somebody that you done killed, you ain't getting no record contract or no record deal. See, we know where this stuff is coming from, but it's hard for us to change it because we come from a gangster era rap. We come from the first generations of vulgar music where they disrespected women. We come from the first generation of vulgar music where we talked about hurting each other and this and that and the other. And so it's almost seemed like it's impossible. I don't want to deal with it. One of the reasons why I don't want to deal with it is because I don't want to check myself. When I get in my car, I'm still going to put on some E40, some Too Short, some T.I., some Lil Wayne. I'm still going to put on all of this type of stuff. Some Little Boosie. I'm going to put on MO3. I'm going to put on all these things. These are what the things that we done become comfortable with. But when we start dealing with self-awareness, the first thing that we do is we identify with the fact that I'm part of the problem. Now, what am I going to do to change it or to fix it? So we know where the killing is coming from. But see, that's neither here nor there, because in this world that we are living in, this world, it's two worlds in this world. First, let me explain that. There are many worlds. There are many worlds. You have the aquatic world. You have the world that the fowls fly around in, the world of the skies. You have the world out there in space that house the heavenly bodies. And then you have this physical world that we live in. But inside this physical world that we live in, there are two other worlds. That's a world of righteousness and it's a world of wickedness. And the two worlds don't intermingle. And the two worlds cannot be changed. You're not gonna, it's always gonna be righteousness, it's always gonna be wickedness as long as we in this earth. It's always gonna be that. So we're not dealing with the wicked world. We have to put our hands to the plow and then create environments for the young children that desire to do right. And this is where the skating event come in at. And that all our children, see, our parents want something wholesome for their children, you see? But the problem is that we already been consumed ourselves with this foolishness. Only thing left to do is to be able to identify with it. So when we start talking about doing something for the children, listen, if we get the children, we get the parents. You get the parents, then you can bring some self-awareness. Once the parent get there and they understand that they can't come to the DJ booth and request no song that they want to hear, if it's got foul language in it, if it's got cursing in it, you can't hear none of that. Because this ain't even about you. This is about the children. And you are welcome because you're responsible for bringing the children. But ultimately, what we're trying to do is create an environment to where our children can get together and have some place to put their energy, and even the grown folks, the adults, can be there and have fun and enjoy themselves while they watch their children do something constructive. And I don't get our people sometimes, because they think if you ain't playing all this rot gut, fuck a nigga, kill a nigga, that bitch ain't nothing else. If you ain't playing all of that stuff that we done fallen in love with, not understanding that it's wickedness in the eyes of God, we ain't playing none of that garbage. And we make our DJs understand that. I don't care who asks for what. Don't nobody run nothing when it comes to this music that's going to be played, because if it's the music that have caused the minds of the children to be in a condition that is in now, it's going to be the same music that redirects the mindset of the children. So We need brothers and sisters to put their hand to the plow. And the first way you're going to put your hand to the plow by being able to look yourself in the face, look in the mirror, and ask yourself, who am I not? Who am I not? I'm not a thug. I'm not a gangster. I'm not a criminal. I'm not a real ass nigga. I'm not a hoochie. I'm not a hoe. I'm not a bitch. I'm not ratchet. Cause we can call ourselves by all of these things and then start living a life that does not belong to us. And we're walking around and we're being dictated to by what we listen to. Well, ask yourself who you're not. And then you'll find out who you are. You're regal. You're royal. You're lovely. You're beautiful. Magnificent. Fearfully and marvelously made, created in God's image. Wonderful. Those are all the things that we are. But our people are in a place right now that's so terrifying, man. Because we gravitate toward everything that's no good. Everything that's against God, that's what we want. Everything that's against God, that's what we want. Everything that's against God, that's what we want. No matter how low, no matter how rot gut the fad is. If it's rot gut, that's for us. That's for us. We don't want to identify with that. Turn the radio on. You don't want to identify with that? Go and turn the videos on. You don't want to identify with that? Look at what we do. We ain't going to do nothing but party. We're going to party. While the rest of the world is just going on living a beautiful life. Now, I just told brothers and sisters in Kansas City, Missouri, they just approved $50 million for the people that have been coming across the border illegally to get houses in the black community, and so that they can be housed and so that they can be taken care of. You mean to tell me somebody coming from another country can come in here and have access to monies and things like that when we allotted monies on a regular basis every year? That because we unaware, we don't have no self-awareness, it just go right past us, and then we got the nerve enough to complain. We got the nerve enough to complain about everything. Complain about the street lights, complain about the potholes in the street, complain about, all these different things that there is money made available for us as a people to be able to receive. Well, how are people going to get anything when the people don't have no voice? We have people on the planet that don't even exist because we don't have no voice. So we need our brothers that's doing business, our brothers that's doing business, our brothers that's doing business, our brothers that's got influence, them and the brothers and sisters. Y'all gonna have to lead the way. Y'all gonna have to lead the way, because all the people that support your parties and all the people that support your events and all these things, you gonna have to lead the way.
Good morning, brother.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Yeah, you're gonna have to lead the way. Because if those that got influence jump out front and then start dealing with their people, same way they follow you to a party, they'll follow you to the polls to go vote. Same way they'll follow you to a concert, they'll follow you down to City Hall when it's time to raise some hell about something in the hood. Same way you follow them on Facebook, they follow you on Facebook, they'll follow you when it comes down to getting something constructive done. Well, I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, so we want to appreciate all the brothers, and we still got brothers and sisters that's coming on board. It's coming on board. After I left the park last night, we stopped down there in the local nightclub, and I pulled up a chair and had me a beer, you know what I'm saying? I got one of my prominent brothers there, auto body man, been having an auto body shop for probably about 25 years. Very, very well known brother. But one of the things he said, man, I just heard today about it, what you was doing. And you know what? Only question he asked me is, what can I do, Meech? What can I do? I said, well, starting next week, we want to have hot dogs and tater chips and bottled water for the children and the people that skate. I said, this is what LA Dog came up with. I said, and we're going to implement that. And he said, whatever you need, I got it. I said, if you can fit in there wherever you want to. You can do hot dogs, you can do water, you can do chips. If you desire, you can do all three. I have people in place to do cooking because you know what? Out of all the people in the community, everybody got to play their role. I'm not cooking nothing. I'm not putting on no apron. But somebody going to cook. If you cook and that's what you do, get over there on that grill and cook these kids some food. Everybody got a role to play. It's time out for letting one person just do everything. When we pull people together and start mobilizing them and they start putting their hand to the plow, then they feel good about what they're doing. And that's where you get a sense of community from. One of the reasons why we don't have a sense of community is because you always got one person that want to be a head honcho. Nah, I don't work like that. So, I'm telling brothers and sisters, we have these children out here. We have these single parents out here. They can't afford to buy skates for their kids. Some of them got 2 or 3. Some of them got 4 or 5 children. They're doing the best that they can by their children. They're getting their children to the park. They're getting their children to the environment. Well, if they can't afford to buy the skates, then guess what? Those of us that been blessed, those of us that have the money to be able to do it, we put our hand to the plow. It's nothing to offer $15 or $20 for something like that so that all of these kids can have skates. Yep. And we tell our vendors we don't charge nobody for no money for nothing. But everybody gonna play their part. Everybody gonna play their part. And when vendors don't have to worry about going to get nobody $200 to set up their booths, and you get to come and set your booth up for free, nobody shouldn't even have to come and ask you. You should automatically just come over there and say, hey, you know what? Here's $20. You know what? Here's $15. The money don't go for me, but everything is going for these children so that they can have food. We want to make sure that it is not one child in that park that does not have a pair of skates on. And then we relieving pressure and burdens off of the mother. No mother wants to bring her children to the park and see all the other children skating around, but her children don't have no skates because she can't afford to buy none. And then we get so selfish because we able to do these things for our children, and then when it comes to somebody else, just forget about it. Well, that's why we in the condition that we in as a people, because the things that's happening with us do not happen with anybody else. So, whatsoever you do it with your whole heart. As if God was, I guarantee you, if God came out of heaven and sat down, I guarantee you that I don't care whether they're wicked or righteous, everybody will start doing stuff to get his attention and try to impress him. But guess what? God is right there, watching every single thing. Every time we ask for a dime to support somebody, he's watching. People been watching these videos for years. They've been watching these videos for years. And God done blessed them with good jobs, good houses, and all that. They've been watching these videos for years. And when we get the call to go and raise up a brother or sister, you know what? They do nothing. But I always got God in their mouth. And we don't worry about what other people do. We looking for the ones that's going to do. And so we got a book last night for all of our single mothers and we make it clear, this is help. We don't need no single mothers up here trying to hustle. If God done put you in a place, and most of the single mothers that been in a good place, they children already got skates. We know the ones that can't afford it because they children don't have none. But we say we're going to help. We're going to help to make sure that your children get skates. And we're going to make sure that we're going to challenge every person that's in that park next week that they're going to contribute something, because we're going to get all of those children skates. And those that don't contribute, guess what? They don't get to feel that genuine sense of community because they're not playing their part. See, when you play your part, if somebody donate $10, every time a kid get a pair of skates, you know what I'm saying, they feel good because they know that they contributed something. And it went to this. Every time we post a picture or do a video of a child receiving a pair of skates, whoever it was that donated, they feel a sense of community. They get to feel that they was the one that was responsible for making sure that that child had skates. And there was nothing like seeing a child's face when they received those skates. And they got their own skates, and now they can get out there on the skating floor, and now they can learn. They're excited about that. You talking about turning something around? Who wouldn't want to be a part of that? Who wouldn't want to be a part of that? You would want it for your own children. I want it for my children. If you would want it for your own children, and you've been blessed to be able to do it for your own children, why not? Why not? Just why not? Play a role in helping your brother or your sister be able to do it for their children. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Now the Bible says that a prophet is without honor in his own home. Now I don't classify myself as a prophet, but I'm going out. I classify myself as a man out here trying to make a difference and trying to get some work done. And that's kind of what the prophets did. They want to go out and reason with the people. But it says that he's without honor in his own hometown. I live in Kansas City, Missouri. I don't know. It seems like the people in my own town be the last people to respond. That don't mean that they won't respond. But I'm still going to keep beckoning for them. So anybody that's on this thread, I need you to put this on the screen. We had our brothers and sisters that raised money all over the country last week so that we can start getting our brothers some lawnmowers and some tools to, so that they can start working and making their own money. Now what we need to do, I need somebody to put this on the screen. Cash App, $ Dimitri Milligan. And put on the screen paypal.me/Dimitri78. And anybody in Kansas City, Missouri that have been given an abundance, if you got a job and you can pay your bills and you got a little bit left over, you got $5 you can donate, you got $10 that you can donate, you go on over there and you donate to these help ministry so that we can have some money to get these children some skates so that they can get the skating. Some of the mothers, one of the mothers said, well, I'll be able to do it. I'm gonna get half. I'm gonna pay half with it. I'll be able to do it, but I won't have the money for 2 weeks because I got to pay out my bills with this paycheck. Okay, 2 weeks. That's 2 Tuesdays that a kid gonna miss from skating, but they don't have to miss it. If somebody else is standing in the gap, and skates are not that expensive. We can buy skates for some odd $25, $30 for children. Please put those apps on the screen if you're on there. $ Dimitri Milligan. paypal.me/Dimitri78. And we're going to lift this money and we're going to get every kid that have a desire to skate on that skating floor and let them burn that energy off and using their time to get good at something. And once you start getting good at something, you look, I'm 45 years. I'm 45 years and going. 45 years consistently that I've been skating. 45 years worth of energy put at the skating rink because somebody took me skating. My big brother took me skating when I was about 7 years old. And just to see that, I was inspired. To our older brothers that's skaters, when you come out to the park, man, put them skates on. Put them skates on and skate because the children will be inspired by what they see. So I'd like to say that peace and blessings be upon everybody that will have the opportunity to chime into the video. This is indeed a great day to be alive. It's a day that the Most High Heavenly Father have made. We're going to rejoice and we're going to be glad in it.